from the game instantaneously. Pounce no longer does that damage, though, upon pouncing. But, you know, that's not the worst thing. And then the good old Timber Saw is going to be banned out, so not too surprised about the Timber Saw. He's actually another one of those heroes that can afford doing the solo offlane right now, and they just kind of want to get rid of that solo capability. First pick into the second phase, though, it is going to be Disruptor, so that's great for counter teamfight initiation. You can drop Ravage, but Disruptor can drop Static Field and Kinetic Storm. Wow, that's the complete opposite. No, that's about the right thing, but following that will be the Grimstroke pickup. That is a very huge play right now, actually. Is the Grimstroke position 4 or 5, most likely 5 in this scenario. He has insane damage coming off of any one of his spells, and he just deals immense damage without even trying. Following that will be an Undying, which is a great counter team fight. So a lot of stuff that Chaos is going for is stuff to kind of like disengage team fights that come in with a great Ravage or even a Grimstroke stun. The Undying Tombstone's a great way to try and confirm the counteraction of that, and now we are going to see the Juggernaut, which is a very common counter to Terrorblade. He's a very common Battle Fury builder. Sometimes goes for Lightning depending on the situation, but it's a very great Terrorblade counter because he can just Omni into Terrorblade, maybe find a couple bashes in the time, and still just remove the Terrorblade from the game. Of course, you know, he can always just sunder his allies, but, you know, most of the time when you're getting Omni Slash and you don't quite know what to do, that's the first place people turn to. So
slaughter stirs unabated by the promise of a new day.
That's a great act. That's actually an amazing mid ban. I actually like that Medusa ban a lot because that's something that can counteract a team fight as well. It's great against Terrorblade, especially if she gets an Aghanim Scepter, but I really don't think Medusas have room to get Aghanim Scepters. And team fights is actually, the team fight potential is actually quite insane from the Medusa standpoint, because Stoneform can definitely just shut down a Terrorblade in mid-team fight. So this is probably going to be the offlane brew then, with the safe Terrorblade. So Chaos is looking for their mid player here, and so is Infamous by the looks of it. Tiny is still available. I don't think Infamous have a great lineup to run a Tiny here. I don't think Chaos either, though. Because they just don't know what the mids are. A Puck wouldn't be bad, but it's very weak and susceptible to damage from both sides of the position 1 carries. So I think we're really looking for some sort of heavy sustained middle hero here. No, Queen of Pain definitely isn't one either. It's got to be some high armor, high damage class without doing a lot of potential feeding. They could just run melee middles if they really want to. Just have an Ember mid. It looks like they're going to ban out the Pugna. Actually, the Pugna's pretty good. That's a counteractive teamfight hero. And the OD, actually, making it through the bans, is going to be the last pick here against Chaos EC. So that's actually a pretty big one as well. Because I'm pretty sure Sanity's Eclipse does kill Illusion still. Instantly. So from that, basically, Chaos need to find some sort of hero that can actually heavily outdamage the OD. This is definitely not a Meepo game, because the Terrorblade is going to have to farm a lot. The Brewmaster is going to have to farm a lot. We might actually see an Invoker, but the last time I think I saw a WOWEEE Invoker was quite some time ago. But Invoker's not the worst here, but there's a lot of disengage capability available against the Cold Snap combo, with Juggernaut Spin as well as Astral Imprisonment. Yeah, there's that rain. There's that rain, everybody. Can't do anything about that. Oh. A mid Rubik? It's a mid Rubik, ladies and gentlemen. Arcana mid Rubik. That's gonna be something fun to see. And it's definitely gonna be something interesting. A mid Rubik is going to actually be quite a bit of fun there. I'm actually excited to see this mid Rubik. As a person who plays heroes that shouldn't be mid all the time, like I play mid Skywrath, I do a mid Rubik maybe once every other blue moon. I am eager to see how WOWEEE runs this mid Rubik. A mid Rubik's gonna be a lot of fun to see, and a lot of fun to witness, I guess. So what are we looking for here? So basically it is Tomato Juggernaut, so they have finally swapped Tomato over to a hardcore role, because I remember back then when I casted Tomato all the time, it was quite the opposite direction. He wasn't the hardcore, I'm pretty sure. Back then he used to be the 4, I believe. But now, you know, hard carry Tomato coming into the game, ladies and gentlemen. For some reason, I thought the Terrorblade was white. Why is he pink in this screen? It's not even what my Terrorblade looks like. I don't even know where that visual is coming in. Let me look at the Terrorblade again.
No, I'm feeling it.
What? Weird. Is there 2 color gems in here? No, it's just Rubeline. Weird. I saw it as white and I was really happy because I really like the white Terrorblade. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1 of Chaos EC, or Esports Club, versus Infamous Gaming. Let's go ahead and start on the side of the Radiant as always, because not because of the team, but because the Radiant side just looks nice and pretty and I like it. First and foremost, we are going to have Disruptor played by Kingu. Following that, Brewmaster is going to be Tavo. Terrorblade will be HFN, Rubik by WOWEEE, and Undying is going to be played by Misery. Meanwhile, on the side of the Dire for Infamous, it's going to be Pepita on the Tidehunter. OD is going to be played by Robos, Lich by Woo, Grimstroke by Moose, and Juggernaut by Tomato himself. This will be one glorious game indeed, as they do see a ward has been placed immediately into the mid, and a sentry most likely will be brought out as soon as possible to counteract that. They did smoke into the mid to grab that ward drop, so they know exactly where that ward is, and they're ready to deny that bad boy as soon as possible. We do see the Grimstroke playing a bit aggressive. He's already placed his ward, no doubt. I don't know where he did it, though. That might have been the mid, actually, but maybe they actually only have 1 ward. Who has the other ward on the side of the Dire right now? I don't know. Actually, it looks like HFN's trying real hard to at least get 1 more rune, but it looks like they're going to have to let that go. So it'll be a 3-1, and Pepita is going to go ahead and drop that BM tip. So something I already noticed is that a lack of players have yet to open their new Bloom stuff. So, well, look at that. Pepita already has 2 sets of new Bloom stuff, and so does Woo. And that's pretty much it. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and check out our lanes. So up in the top, we are going to have Tavo and Kingo versus Tomato and Woo. It's going to be a very hard lane for them to win because of this Frost Lich armor is doing a lot of damage now. But the other thing is that, you know, Drunken Brawler's pretty nice, but the Cinder Brew is going to make this lane especially hard for Tomato to fight in. That Ignite is something crazy. Look at that! Look at the little sparkle. I like that. I haven't seen them yet because I haven't played Dota since the update came out. Anyway, down in bottom, we are going to have Misery and HFN, which Misery, by the looks of it, might be in a bit of trouble, but he will be able to get out for the time being. He does need to be careful here. He doesn't have that many stacks of strength, and the first blood's already dropped on Tavo. My apologies. I did not see that, but didn't really expect that. So what, that was level 1 spin plus armor? Yeah, so Frost Shield. Yeah, the damage reduction, that's pretty insane, actually. It doesn't give armor anymore, but it's pretty nice, you know. Pretty nice. 60 HP regen at a 15-second cooldown with a 6-second duration. It's 9 seconds of downtime, basically, of 60-plus regen. How's this mid doing already? So it is going to be the mid Rubik versus Robos. So the big problem with this right now is that Astral Imprisonment is quite a bit of damage still against this Rubik. But I think they're able to, I think they're going to be able to counter it pretty well. I like mid Rubik a lot. The Arcane Supremacy is actually really good, but the big problem here is that he has 1 damage ability, whereas Robos will have 1, 2, and then, you know, he'll have their equilibrium for restore. Because paying out the courier, it's the little Oski. Why'd they name it Henge? Yeah, that's Oski. Good old Oski. What's their career? Oh, look at it. It's the Zoro, I'm pretty sure. Zonky. That's what a genuine Zonky. Wowie. So, game's already in. There's already first blood drawn up in top. Communication issues called out by Infamous by the looks of it. Yeah, sound problems, so. It looks like this is going to be a very classic Terrorblade. Looks like we're going back to the old times where we saw Terrorblade build Battle Fury against the PL meta. This is basically going to be the same thing by the looks of it. HFN planning to go Battle Fury. Which I'm going to be very ecstatic to see if that's really going to be the case here. I guess it's just going to be a game of who can farm the hardest, really, against Tomato, who also will no doubt be going Battle Fury. I'm actually excited to see this Battle Fury HFN. It's an old classic, and I'm ready. I'm ready to see the old classic. HFN trying to fight his own illusions for that last hit. Luckily, they're not like AM, and you can control them. But it looks like, other than the first blood already being drawn, the game has been pretty stagnant within the past, like, what, 18 seconds that it's been going on so far. Kingo gonna be in a bit of trouble here. Every time it gets right-clicked, that's quite a bit of damage coming out from Wu early. 50 though, plus the fact that Disruptor I think has 1 armor. Yeah, pretty weak boy. Misery spotting moves. Looks like he's trying to place something over there, but he's got nothing to place, so don't really see the problem here. I guess it's gotten to the point where they only really need 1 ward at a time active in the game, because there's only 1 ward active, and it's in mid. I guess in the laning phase, there's not really a big point to buying too many wards. I haven't really found a justification for that myself. But, you know, these are pro teams, and I am just your caster, so I don't know for sure what exactly the play here is. Do like that new gold animation. Looks all pudgy. Down in bot, though, HFN gonna be in a bit of trouble here. He's obviously got no Sunder at level 3. Pepita, though, he's got mana for 1 more smash, but he's looking to get the dive. Yeah, he eats the mango and throws out the gush. They'll kill off HFN there. And that's quite unfortunate. They can't be throwing that Terrorblade off into the boat that often because he's trying to go for a Battle Fury, so he needs to farm as much as possible. Kingo might be in trouble up in the top lane, but Lich does not have his fear yet, so he will go ahead and escape for the time being. I really don't think you ever pick up a value point in that fear, though. That seems like a very weak thing to get a value point in. The double nulls are active in both mid lane players at the moment. Moose is doing an excellent job of making sure HFN is adequately unhappy in this lane. But, you know, let's go to the CS immediately. We do see that the mids are basically even at 19-5 and 18-7. But now we go to the Terrorblade, who is running the top of the the CS at 20-7 to the opposing safe lane farmer, Tomato, at 14-2. You see Misery checking to see if the rune is bottom, but unfortunately the boy's got no HP, so he's going to eat that stun, and most likely the damage following, he will go ahead and fall there. He's soaked back into the earth, like the undying he is. Pepita, gonna go for that early bracer. A lot of people picking up those early bracers. I wouldn't be surprised if Brewmaster is also one of those that goes for that early bracer. And we do have HFN. He has to use Metamorphosis here in order to farm because he can't really go up against a melee fight against the Tide, and not to mention the right-click Torment damage basically coming out. Lich gonna be in a bit of trouble here. He does have 1 Thunderstrike going on him. It will confirm the kill, actually, and I guess Kingo might have thought it wasn't gonna get it, but he will grab it no matter what. Back in bottom, Pepita trying to jump on Misery, but it's not gonna find too much. HFN coming in, though. Looks like they are gonna go ahead and prep the stun coming on from Moose. It's level 1. Gets a pretty good stun. Out goes the Inkswell. Or Stroke of Fate, and they are going to try to kill him off, but it looks like it might go the other way. Meanwhile, up in top, they will go ahead and kill off the Disruptor. HFN going to be pretty low, though. They drop the Tombstone. The 2 runes are available. In fact, they got 2 of them. Back up in top, though, we are going to see Wu being chased out by WOWEEE with a haste rune. There is no teleportation available. 50 seconds left, and he's waiting for the deny. But WOWEEE is waiting 3 seconds for his Fade Bolt to be back online, and he's dead. It was a very clever attempt there. I think if he did it 2 times earlier, it would have happened, but unfortunately that will cost the death of Wu there indefinitely, waiting on that Fade Bolt to get the kill. It's a very clever strategy. He waited very long for that. Meanwhile, back in bottom, Misery might be in trouble here. That's going to be a full duration stun going on that bad boy. Misery taking quite a bit of damage. Moose still has Stroke of Fate, and out it goes. He will go and soak back into the ground once more. Back up in top lane. No, Tomato is just fine for the time being. He is going to get thrown with a Thunderstrike, but there is only level 1 glimpse, so not really going to try and make an engagement off of this. And now we have a rotation. Woo in the bot lane, trying to get this kill on HFN, but it looks like the Battle Fury might have been abandoned as the primary plan here. Don't know for sure, though. It's not linked. WOWEEE does manage to steal Equilibrium. It is actually really good for him, because if he Fade Bolts a Creep Wave with Equilibrium on, you can expect to have all your mana pool back. Back in bottom, looks like they're trying to make a dive onto HFN. That armor is going to work, but it's not going to be enough. They can't dive him that far. They don't want to dive him that far. So in the meantime, Tomato's going to be up in the top lane by himself. The healing ward comes out, but it's not going to be up for that much longer. A lot of aggression coming out from Infamous compared to like previous games where we see a lot of people don't really do this early tower dive scenario here. Moose popping his Salve to try and outlast the tower's right clicks, basically. And now we are going to have HFN popping Metamorphosis once more in order to farm, especially with the fact that he is at no HP. That Stroke of Fate does way too much damage. Back up on top, though. Tomato going to try and get a TP out. Is he going to have enough time? Just barely makes it out. That glimpse could have been there. Well, if only the glimpse could have been there. That would have definitely caused the scenario there. Raindrop being used up. 14 wand charges available, though. And now we're going to see maybe a counter Astral. He will go ahead and counter Astral. Level 3. They do have Disruptor. They have Woo waiting in the mid. Okay, I see how this is going to go. The TP coming in from Moose. The stun's going to be there, but he will imprison, but it won't matter because Woo is right there. They will fear him up, and WOWEEE is going to be banished one last time to confirm his death. Back in the bot, though, they are looking to go on Pepita, maybe, but, you know, he is one strong, tough boy, especially with that level 1 bracer, with the bracer. That's a big thing about this game, is that these small little items, like a bracer, is literally like the one thing that funds a hero's survivability in a lane as an offlaner now. You don't really need to have like a big double offlane game now. You just need a bracer. It's almost like getting the PMS, when PMS was basically mandatory. We are going to see Terrorblade go to the top jungle now and likely use the Shrine in eventuality of the fact that he has the jungle now. But the big thing about a Terrorblade, every time I've watched a Terrorblade have to run into the jungle, he actually is pretty darn good at making recovery farm. Back up in top, though, Tavo is going to be in a bit of trouble. The fear gonna be there. Tomato's going to Omni Slash, and Tavo is going to be in a bit of trouble. He will eat the dirt. Now, Tomato, though, is going to be caught up with the good old Frost Blast, but now the spin's going to be there. They're looking for one. Misery drops the Tombstone. Spin is stolen, and Misery will survive. In fact, they might get the kill on Woo here. Glimpse is going to be there, and the spin will follow. Woo is going down to this Rubik one way or another. TB and TB Illusions hiding out in the mid here, and TB just at no HP. Very susceptible to magic damage, but, you know, 16 armor. He's a really great, like, melee fighter to the Juggernaut. And looks like he kept the TP, and Woo is definitely gonna pay for this continuing TP here. Or is he, though? He is getting brought in. WOWEEE will find the kill. The healing ward's gonna be there, but WOWEEE with spin available and TP in one. He's gonna spin and do exactly that. Back to mid, actually, so he's gonna make sure that this Grimstroke is still adequately contested, but, you know, Pepita free farming that bot lane. He's got quite a bit of gold on him. Now it's 9 minutes, 10 minutes basically. Let's switch to the net worth, where we do see that OD is running the top of the net worth at 4.1. He's going to go for that Midas, but Rubik, slowly running behind also at 4.1, is going to go for just some boots. He's got the double null. The lift is going to be there out on the OD. They're looking for a setup, but now Tomato is here as well. Spin is available, but the counter spin will go out as well as the disruption. Pepita, he does have Ravage available. He's waiting for the opportune time and will drop that Ravage, and everyone is going down in this scenario. Tavo as well going to be in a bit of trouble, but there's no real way to escape this giant mishmash of heroes. Tombstone on the low ground, but it's not going to cause any kills here. It's not exactly the highest level Tombstone. Yeah, it's not max Tombstone just yet. Tombstone is 5 attacks to destroy. They should really make it to where, like, the talent actually makes it to where, like, Tombstone zombies take more attacks, not, like, the Tombstone. Regen gonna be picked up in the bot lane by the Undying, Misery. And then we're going back up in the top lane. The Vladimirs is gonna be the next thing for the Brewmaster here. Healing Ward just chilling off to the side there, and Tavo is just not having a... This is not a really great time for Chaos. Their farm is a little bit weak, but at the same time, they're not exactly sacrificing everything immediately. It's still a pretty stabilized game overall. They just lost the tower fairly early, but, you know, the big thing about Terrorblade is that he's got amazing scaling. Pepita, with no abilities available, he's just going to have to soak this up and run away, because he's one big buff boy. Back in the bot, though, we are going to... Oh, no, he was trying to kill himself to the creeps, because he was, like, knee-deep in the jungle with 2 Observer Wards trying to ward. Sentry's going to be thrown down, but he didn't get any vision thrown down immediately there, so looks like the supports of Infamous are going to smoke up, maybe trying to line up for a fight up in top. They do have this Observer Ward up on the hill, so they will be able to find him. They really want to try and get a fight out here, and they do. They really do. In fact, both ultimates are available. They're looking for that Chain Frost ultimate moves combo. Anchor Smash is going to be the stolen spell here. Glimpse into the storm. It's going to be there, but there goes the ults, and the Lich ultimate is actually not going to land on the initial target, but it does not matter. That's going to be a kill one way or another. WOWEEE goes down, and Kingo will follow. There are 2 more heroes up in this top lane. Misery gets a sweet triple strength steal, and now they're looking to remove this Tombstone. They get that Tombstone, no problem, and in the meantime, mid tower being clicked on by HFN. Okay, while I'm here, not the combat log, I don't... Please, Rain, stop doing that. Let's go ahead and... Oh, hang on, HFN might be in a bit of trouble here. No, Ravage is available on Pepita, but he's not going to do it. He's not going to Ravage just for a Terrorblade quite yet. So let's go ahead and take a look at the net worth chart, actually. As we see, it's just a big spiraling what the heck is going on there. Same with the XP. Actually, looks like it's dropping into Infamous favor, but the win probability is still staying stagnant at the rate that it is. Now we do have a Healing Ward being thrown out. They're going to go for WOWEEE here. They have Healing Ward available for themselves if they want to. WOWEEE just removes him from the game, and now it's going to be Rob's maybe in a bit of a scenario here. Spin going out on Misery. There's not really much he can do here. He has 4 wand charges if he wants to try and live like 1 more second longer, and he will do that indeed. Pepita being focused out. He does have Ravage available. He's waiting until the Pandas come back into 1. Now he is back into 1. The field goes down, and there's no way they can really follow up. Although I say that, though, Moose is going to be following up the Brew now. There's going to be 2. The Glimpse is available. He brings back the OD. Pepita still has Ravage, but he does not want to use it here. Definitely not. Okay, well, I lied. He does want to use it here. He does find this Brewmaster kill because of the Ravage. Or does he? Roshan gets the deny! and that's pretty good, actually. Oh, man, that was not planned. The Ravage actually still procced on that Roshan. Roshan came out, give him a good smack. That Rosh deny. Pretty good, pretty good. Well, now we are just waiting on this mid-Rubik to farm up and be all ready and dandy. Stun going to be started up on Moose for some reason, and now he's going to reveal himself. He's got Spin available, and he's going to do it, but he doesn't have Phase Boots, so there is no getting out of that one. Oh, that was a long TP, too. He TP'd to a tower and not the base, so he's going to be in a bit of trouble, and he's going down there 100%. Tavo does now have the Veil, not the Veil. Does have the Vladimirs. Well, let's go ahead and look at our item development here. So it looks like an Aether Lens is going to be next for Disruptor here, which is actually going to have a bit of a bounty fight here. And Misery does manage to get the rune, but they do dispel 1, and now Pepita is going to be sent back, but it won't save Misery. He's going down indefinitely. Shrine being popped up. Maybe if Kingo wanted to try and get a secondary jump back on this, but it's not really going to find it. Terrorblade finding the Juggernaut down in the bot lane, so it will be the Battle Fury is going to be abandoned, but that might be because Juggernaut also does not have one. He will go for the Diffusal Blade instead. Maybe that's why they canceled it, basically. So this is what I was talking about, though. HFN like completely lost his lane, but then he went to the jungle, farmed for like a little bit, not even that much, and he managed to get a return on his gold almost immediately here. He's got a lot of money now. He's up at the top of the net worth, and he was jungle for like I think a good 8 minutes, and those 8 minutes, you know, that gave him the farm that he needed. There was just a period of time where, you know, he wasn't really doing too much here. Tidehunter trying to make an aggression out onto Tavo. Pita does not have Ravage available, and there's a team here. And by that I mean it's just HFN with right clicks coming out onto Tavo, and they will go ahead and get that kill. The glorious pink disappearance from HFN there. I do love the Terrorblade Arcana for that is one of the many reasons why I do. I really think that Infamous do need to try and make a way for this game to end fairly quick, because at the same time, they can't. The OD can actually get heavily countered out by just getting silenced or hexed, which he's going to go for a hex now as well. And the Juggernaut is basically the same thing, because he's not going Manta first, he just has Diffusal Blade. They will pop a Tombstone for this Roshan, and HFN is gonna try and click away on it, but Tidehunter has Ravage now. He is TPing in. They go ahead and drop the Brewmaster ultimate as well. They drop a glimpse back on the Tide. There is no Ravage for this team fight. They will find the kill on HFN though, and Tomato gonna clean up this Tombstone, or is he though? The Lich Blast going through, it's not going to find much. WOWEEE with those great spells stolen here. He does have Yules, he uses up one. Robos is going to find Kingo and Misery in the back lines though. Tomato going to spin up, and Tavo is going to be in a bit of trouble here. He does have Wand available, he has Wand, but he can't get the kill. He will go down here, and this could be a counter Roshan fight. That Rosh is pretty low, and the Juggernaut is still alive at fairly decent HP with an urn available out on the Grimstroke. They could technically turn this Roshan fight around, but now the top tower is being pushed in. It will be a 3 range creep lane. 2 range creep lane. 1 range creep lane. We really do need some Blink Daggers set up pretty soon here, but it looks like it's just double bracers so far. It's still going to be the Manta for the Terrorblade. That will dispel the silence, but he just got disabled so hard in that fight, and that just makes it really hard for Terrorblade to fight, basically. He could go for BKB if he really wanted to, but I don't really see that being a thing. Next thing I see for the Rubik is either the Ags or the Blink Dagger here. And it looks like they are going to go ahead and finish this Roshan. It's at fairly low. They send in a TV Illusion to scout it out, and they understand that you're doing it, but they don't have great teamfight ultimates available. The only thing they really have is just more Strokes of Fate to try and claim the last hit out on that Roshan. They don't have Disruptor Ultimate. Oh, they do have Disruptor Ultimate. They'd have to do it now if they want to, and they drop the Ultimate, the Tombstone on the back lines. They're clicking away, but who's going to get the Aegis first? Misery, does he have a slot available? He does. Is he going to live long enough to get it, though? No, Tomato's got the Aegis as well. Kills off Misery, and now they're looking for more. WOWEEE in the back lines doesn't have Ravage available because he didn't get the steal. Now they do get the kill out onto Pepita, but they're not going to find much else there. The rest of Infamous is leaving off of that. They got the Aegis. They killed Misery, and nothing of great value was really lost there. The Tidehunter is going to go for a Mechanism. He's not even going for Blink Dagger, so he's not trying to save up a lot of gold right now, which might be the reason why he's going for that in particular. But the Terrorblade did manage to get a kill out of that scenario and will help him farm a little bit better here. We do see the net worth graph still going in favor of Infamous here at 20 minutes. Following that, though, is the XP graph that's basically along the same lines, and the win probability about 15% underneath or so. Not 15%, but I'd say it's about, it looks like it says, oh, it says right here, I'm dumb. 60% and 40% is on that lineup there. OD is working on that Hex as well. TP's being expended for the top lane for HFN, who is going to be pushing it in with his illusions. Motto is seen on the outside there. Spin is available, and he will do exactly that. Spin is stolen, but there's no way to save good old Kingo. And now we're going to have a counter spin. No, he won't. He's silenced up. The counter spin now is going out, though. Tomato lifted. He's going to be in trouble. That's the Aegis, though. That's not even that big of a problem. WOWEEE with no capability of return damage here. He is going to be the first sacrifice of many for this team fight, and he will be going down. They will suffer from that one. Moving on from there, they will lose Misery as well. Underneath the first top tower here, Brewmaster just popping his ultimate. I would not. I don't know how people actually do that. I can't pump my ultimate like a Brewmaster. I can pump. You can pump your ultimate as Dark Widow any day, because pumping your ultimate as Dark Widow is just pumping your ultimate, because that's literally what the point of Dark Widow's abilities are. It's just to fake pump it all the time. But I can never really do that like with. Well, no, Ravage. I don't think Ravage does have a fake pump, but you could fake pump Shadow Fiend. That's a pretty easy one. Magnus. I mean, Magnus fake pump is definitely a really hard one, that's for sure. It looks like it is going to be the Blade Fury stolen once more, but the Healing Ward's going to be there, and the Stroke is going to go out as well, so that will be denied mid-tower, actually. Rubik will find that deny. The lift is going to be there, throws him into the storm, but it's not going to be enough. He is feared, silenced. Now he has his own lift, but he's trying to find something to kill, something to hit. He will find moves, but he has to disengage. Actually, if he steals this ultimate here, that's pretty good if he lives. And it looks like he might not do that. He does steal Stroke, though, or his Stroke's ult, but doesn't really find out, like, what to really do here. Interesting, that lasted... Oh, yeah, because the debuff duration. That's actually really interesting. I forgot about that. Since Arcane Supremacy gives debuff duration, basically, that makes it to where it's 50% longer, about. That's actually not bad at all. We are going to have Juggernaut TP bottom to get rid of this cannon wave, but the big thing is that we're waiting on this Terrorblade to get that big farm item, and he is going to go for a BKB. That's the one thing that's going to save him in these team fights. A BKB is extremely important, so not too surprised about that. And moving on from there, though, we are going to see... Let's see, so there's going to be Glimmercape Midas going out for that Disruptor next. Brewmaster going to go for the Boots of Travel. There's that Blink Dagger we've been looking for. BKB going to be planned up for the TB. He's going to be about 120 gold away from that one. Blink Dagger, like I said previously, will be the next pickup for the Rubik. And the Undying Misery is just having Misery, farming. That's pretty much it. Following that, though, is going to be the Tidehunter going for a Blink Dagger, as well as some Guardian Greaves following that. OD going to go for a Blink and BKB as well. The Sheep is up and running. The Smoke is out. Lich is just Lich. He's got a lot of stuff, and Moo's going to go for Blink Dagger following that. And Jug with BKB into the Mankey Kang bar. Weehaw is in a super precarious location here, but this is Weehaw's playstyle, to be honest. He will be in a bit of trouble, and he's dead. Yes, buyback available, though. He has died 7 times, but he's not doing the worst as a mid Rubik here. But they are going to find a team fight. The Rubik buys back. The closest TP is pretty dang far. He is going to be brought up. Tomato trying to get on out of there. They're finding the clicks. They find the OD. Robos with no escape ability will go down. They do drop the ultimate. Moose trying to find the Lich ult. They get the Lich ult. It is going to bounce. It's going, though. There's one coming from Rubik. This Ravage is there as well. It could be stolen from Pepita just in time, but it's not going to be. HFN clicking away. They find 2. They find 3. They find 4. It's a 5-man team wipe. Up in the top lane, they're going to go for that. They're going to hit that last tower up in the top lane. There is no Roshan available for the next possibly 2.5 minutes. And they're going to go get this top tower. They might want to even aggress trying to get to the tier 3. No fortification is available, but the backdoor protection is not going to save them. TB TPing out, however, I don't quite understand that. I really would have liked to see some tier 3 damage going in there, but they will just disengage from that. There is an illusion rune outside the Roshan pit. There is a sentry ward on top of the sentry ward outside of this vision ward, just an inch outside of that vision ward too, so they're not going to find anything there. Tavo's next item after this Blink Dagger, which he just got, he got it a while ago, will be the Radiance. It's a very big item here, actually. It's really good against this Juggernaut, because you can miss Omni Slashes in Omni Slash if you have the mischance. So the Radiance is actually extremely good here because that application still applies even while inside an Omni Slash. A lot of people don't know that because, you know, technically the way that Omni Slash used to work was that when you ulted, you weren't in the game, but now it works completely opposite. Basically, they made it to where you can miss your attacks. I remember that because somebody hit me with like a Heaven's Halberd or something one time I played Juggernaut right before I Omni'd. Didn't land a single attack. But that was Disarm. So I don't know. Or that it was PA. Well, you miss attacks against PA because she has evasion, but yeah, I really think the Radiance is a great plan here. It helps them farm, it can help them get to a late game assurance plan, whereas the Terrorblade is trying to still stack up that farm. The BKB is going to be following, or if the BKB is up actually, yeah, we had it last fight. That's kind of the only reason why that fight went so well, was that the BKBs were available. The Ghost Scepter is now going to be brought up for the Grimstroke instead. A lot of drawing on the map, I could do that too. And Glimmer Cape going to be up for that Disruptor soon. But we're going to see a Butterfly next on that Terrorblade. That BKB was pretty big there. Rubik buying back, has the Blink Dagger now. Well, he's had the Blink Dagger. He's going to skip whatever the heck I was talking about before. It will be an Aghanim Scepter is actually the next thing for WOWEEE. I really like that cast range, but 60 Fade Bolt attack is pretty nice. But, you know, it can't just be dispelled by Blade Fury. It looks like the BKB is still on the plan here in the Mega Kang bar. Lich Ultimate being expended for that mid because it was just about to expire, so... Man, that hurts my soul seeing people that know how to pump all these ultimates. We look at the net worth though, the Terrorblade hunting the top of the net worth at 18 hundo is going to go and basically have that talisman in the next 10 gold. So he's going to be pumped and ready for the next fight. Following that though will be Tomato running at 14.5 on the Juggernaut. Almost has that BKB. It's actually just one more camp away. They're probably going to wait to fight until they have that. But do they have the time as they just smoked up out here just on a sentry ward? No, that's their ward. So they are looking to get a counter engagement fight here. Tavo lining up for something, but they're not going to find too much here. They're getting away. There is some TB illusions. They do manage to find the OD. The lift is going to be there. Robos is going to go ahead and W himself to try and get out of there. Tavo popping ultimate in the back lines is going to bring up that Tidehunter Woo. Throws out his ultimate. It is going to be a double cast. It's going through and it's double hurting. And I think the only one that might fall here is WOWEEE. He ate so much of that ultimate. Static Storm is going to be thrown down, and that's one Tidehunter not able to get his ultimate off. They are looking for more, though. They really want to look for more, and they can't find the rest. They get two, and they're going to get this mid tower as well, if they want to, actually. It looks like HFN is just going to disengage from it. There's no back door on it. Oh, there is. For some reason, it doesn't show that it does. There it is. Maybe because there was a hero on top of it at the time, but now they're going to go ahead and try and aggress this mid with the small amount of creep waves that they have. This TB illusion just blinking away. It's actually missed like maybe about 80% of the attacks so far. Butterfly is not 80%, it is 35, but that tower misses so many of its shots on 35%, damn. Unless there's a, nope, he doesn't have a talent. Well, he didn't pick the talent, but you wouldn't get it if you knew you were going monkey, or if you were going Butterfly. But now the Monkey King bar is going to be more justified for the Juggernaut, which is going to be the next item for him after finishing that BKB. The Glimpse is going to be there for Pita. He's going to be brought back into mid. In case you wanted to get a reactionary ult there. Looks like they are going to go ahead and check that Roshan. It's going to be up in 30 seconds, so it's going to be the semi-long respawn. Now they're going to have a TP being expended for the top lane. Now Pablo will just disengage. They're going to wait for that Roshan. It's going to be up extremely soon. 15 seconds. This illusion has 12. So they are going to miss it at the last second, but it's going to be up. There is a Dire Observer ward freshly plucked over on the corner that's going to be watching the backside rotations of this Roshan. But not too much else following. In fact, the Dire Vision is fairly weak at the moment, whereas the Radiant Vision does have a fairly good spot of a potential smoke location. But it looks like they're not going to smoke up right there. They're going to smoke up right outside the pit. There's a second illusion in there. They spot the spawn. But it looks like they're going to wrap around here with Tomato following in the back lines. There is some lag coming in here from the server side. They're checking the top to make sure if they get this rune or not. And they do see just Tomato in the mid here. They could technically engage, but this is the big wraparound play which Pepita is coming in for. The Juggernaut is the bait. And now they have the TP coming out from Moose. The spin was stolen. The Tidehunter Ravage is available. They're going to be revealed. Pepita jumps in. The Ravage goes out, but the BKB! Perfectly timed. They're looking for the kills. They fight Tomato on the ground at half HP. BKB is going to be expended, though. They're removing the supports. Woo's first to fall. Misery as well. The Omni Slash goes out. HFN going to be A-OK because it's going to jump to the backside there. HFN with no steal available. He does manage to find Pepita. Now they're going to look for more. The buybacks are going out there. The Lich is still available. Misery trying to find the clicks out on the Robos, but meanwhile on the other side, they do manage to find the kill out on Tomato and Robos as well. So that might be that is a dieback actually, I believe. No, the only buyback is out from Lich. They're going to go for this Roshan, and they're going to clean up this mid as well following. In fact, it looks like they might just be, no, they are going to go for that Roshan. This Roshan is indefinitely more important. They do manage to find an easy set of 4 kills there. They get this Roshan indefinitely. Yeah, and the big thing is actually Lich is still pushing, or Rubik is still pushing that bottom. We did see the Omni Slash go out there. The Aghanim Scepter is going to be soon coming by the looks of it. All the parts are in the courier. He's lining it up outside that darn secret shop. Actually, he will get it off of this Roshan death, so... Oh, he won't actually. He still needs about another 200 gold, but he can get it. He can get it. I want to see that Omni Slash. In fact, they see a ward that would technically get him the gold. But he's like, just get the tower. That will definitely do it. And that just drops the Fade Bolt. No Omni available, obviously. There goes the Aghanim Scepter coming on in, most likely to swap out one of these Null Talismans. Or one, maybe. Yeah, it is going to be the Null Talisman. So, Aghanim Scepter up and running on our boy WOWEEE. It's going to be one hell of a game now that he's able to steal spells every 1.5 seconds, basically. Yeah, it increases the cast range. That's like the big thing I kind of liked about getting an Aghanim Scepter for Rubik, is that it increases the cast range of it by a lot. And I sometimes buy Aether Lens still on this hero, so... Anyway, Juggernaut working ever so closely to that good old Manky Kang bar, but he does at least have the Javo, so he will have at least a 15%, 25% chance to pierce through evasion and deal that 100 magic damage. Well, the Omni is not going to be completely bad just quite yet, but, you know, Terrorblade has two butterflies. 2 of them! And now we are going to see a lift go out on the Tidehunter. No silence is available, but he doesn't have ultimate for another 6 seconds. He picked up a DD. This might be a team fight. If they land this ultimate just in time, then they're not going to go ahead and use it. He does not want to burn it. This is just buying time, but yeah, as you can see, he knew it was buying time. They do manage to find the lift out onto Wu in the back lines. The TP fortification. The TP is going to be there. The second lift does follow. They could technically get the kill with the glimpse, but I don't think he's going to go far with that glimpse. Gonna bring him back. He does have Omni available, and he just Omnis Wu. I love seeing the Rubik Omni, actually. It's really nice looking. Now, the Fade Bolt cooldown will be picked up. I definitely think that's better over the Telekinesis land, 100%. Moose is having a bit of a problem here. He could die to TB Illusion alone. Holy moly. How much? What, it's 80%? No, it's 60%. 60%. Ah, there's the follower sound. Thanks for the follow. And moving on from there, though, they are going to try and pressure this mid, while Tomato is going to try and pressure the top at the same time. The Demon Edge is picked up, so that Manky Kang bar will be there as soon as he rotates back in. But they're going to lose this mid tower in the time. They understand he's still down there. They do steal a spell, and it's just going to be the good old Q. Now, HFN does start to walk bottom. He wants this other tower. Tomato, there's a lot of stuff you can do here, Tomato, and it's not this. You're going to lose more than you probably want, and not to mention, any TP rotations from anyone in Chaos can cause a big problem here. And in fact, Tavo does get an initiation in on the near-dead Tidehunter. He goes down. There's no buyback. There's no team fight. He has to come back. Tomato has to come back. They can't keep on fighting this. TP rotation coming out from Mr. Kingo. He is going to be able to get out from the glimpse, but they are going to try and find a counter engagement. They do remove all of the barracks except for the mid-range, but they got way more out of that than Tavo ever could, and he only just clicked the barracks once. So Tomato definitely did not benefit from that trade. And the third butterfly is in the queue for Terrorblade. This is going to be insane. We're going to have a Terrorblade running around with basically 56 armor, and he's not even max level. The big question is, if you go for the meta attack range or the Sunder cooldown in this scenario, there's a Diffusal Blade, so I imagine you go for the meta range, because Sunder still costs 50 mana now, and it's not as simple as swapping treads, because I think swapping your tread would only make it, like, maybe 20 less. You'd only get about 20 mana for tread swapping, so it wouldn't be that great. Lines up in the back here. We do have 4 heroes available. WOWEEE with good old Q. He jumps in. He finds the Tidehunter. They want to silence. They put him in the storm, but he gets out at the last second, actually. This could be a Ravage, and HFN! He's got the Aegis, though, and a BKB available. The Lich Ult in the back line's going to work. Stolen by the Rubik, though. It can be counter initiation, and there it is! The Omni goes down, though, but there's so much evasion on this man. Tomato, it didn't do anything, actually. That Monkey King bar, still, it's only 75% chance. But they do get the W out on one, but Wu goes down in the back lines to Misery. The weird lag is coming in there, and HFN goes down to a huge Eclipse. They're looking for Misery as well. Misery just managed to force staff out of there at the last second. Man, now it's just WOWEEE stuck up in the top there. Has to click these off, but it's not going to live at the end of the day and will go down with his ship. His team will fall. 30 and 30, though. 14k net worth lead still, and the Terrorblade being dead is still working on that third one there. That BKB definitely saved them at the start of that team fight, but they weren't expecting Pepita to be able to crack and shell his way out of the static field. It's kinetic field and static storm. It really should be the other way around. Kinetic storm and static field. It should be static field and not kinetic field. I think it's not called static field though because there's an ability on shamans in World of Warcraft that's called static field. Well, it looks like everyone's just clicking away. They will go ahead and just clean up this top shrine because I don't think they could really engage. We do have every creep wave being pushed in quite heavily except for the top lane where Moose is trying his best with his good old stroke of fate. Trying to do as much damage as possible there. Tavo is floating around, but he still wants that Radiance, and I still think it's the best play here. The mischance is going to be insane. So it's only 75% chance for them to land. It looks like a Scotty is going to be the play instead. I highly agree with Scotty instead. Tavo, level 24, is going to go for the Mjolnir. The question is, I think you go for the 600 HP. They are going to find Kingo. He glimpsed back Tomato, but it's not going to be enough because he spins it off. Now Brewmaster, though, is coming back in for a return fight. They do manage to find the Banish, and the Lift as well is going to be there. A lot of damage going out there. It looks like Robo is going to be in a bit of trouble, but BKB will save him for the time being, so the only one to fall will likely be Pepita. He's going to go down there. The Spell Steal is going to be the Anchor Smash. The Tavo Flame Panda is going to be there, but they're not going to be able to catch him off, and though they might be able to find Moose in this mid lane as he's being cocky. Tavo picks up the invis. He's looking to get the jump. He does not get it, though. They blink up to the high ground where there's a sentry, and now they're going to get hixed up. He's silenced up. He's feared up. He's everything. He is one dead boy. They do manage to steal Inkswell, but walked right up into that sentry. So the lightning, definitely the next thing for Tomato. He did go for the extra Omni Slash duration, so that makes it to where it is a 4.5 second ultimate, basically hitting at really, really crazy. He crits for 500 against the Terrorblade, which has 49 armor. Well, does he have 49? 49, yeah, he has 49 armor, and he has the Scotty now, so he is one big boy, and he could just smack you silly left and right. There goes the Mjolnir, so that means there might be no buyback available on this Juggernaut. I don't think it's actually physically up, though, anyway. No, it is. Actually, we could just look at the buyback statuses. We have buyback on 3 of the Radiant heroes, none of which being cores, but the Terrorblade not having buyback just means he needs to have the next Aegis. Fear is going to be there, out onto Wu, or from Wu. They're not going to find much else, though. The Terrorblade is going to disengage. The Glimmer Cape goes down. They couldn't get that sentry up on the hill, though. I mean, they could actually if they make that Terrorblade hit it, but they're not going to let that happen. Roshan will be up in 2.5 minutes, basically, and that's when we're looking for the next big fight here, is that Roshan. Both teams need that Roshan to actually end up winning this game by the sounds and looks of it. The 10 all stats will be picked up. Let's go ahead and look at talents, actually, before we get in our next big team fight, which is going to be extremely soon looking. Courier will drop a smoke. They smoked up onto the high ground, but it looks like Disruptor was pinging it out, so they're going to check that Roshan pit. It's not there, but, you know, there's creeps in the base. Looks like the first lift is going to be there. The spell steals, there's steal as well. Tidehunter cleans up a sentry ward. There's an observer on the high ground. WOWEEE is going to get hit with that beautiful ultimate, but he has Inkswell. He's going to get a counter 3-man stun into a beautiful Disruptor ultimate, but the OD ultimate will follow. It is going to be a buyback, but Tomato goes down in the beautiful Disruptor. Pepita as well. Robo's looking to find the kill. They do get the glimpse on him, and he is going to be in a big trouble here. Woo's going to be next to follow. He's pretty low as well. The Grimstroke is going to be able to find the TP out, but Woo is going down here. They're going to go for mid. No! Infamous call the GG, and they will call that game here, and we will move to a game number 2 of Chaos versus Infamous Gaming. Wow, what a wonderful game. What a wonderful game indeed. A little bit of a slow start for Chaos, but they were able to sweep it on back with that wonderful Terrorblade. And let's not forget our beautiful Weehaw mid Rubik being able to steal the right spells at the right time. That 3-man stun, they knew they weren't going to be able to come back from that. So they disengaged from that fight completely and entirely. And with that, we will move on to game number 2 of Chaos versus Infamous Gaming. I have received a gift from my friend. Ignore that, ladies and gentlemen. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Those of you on YouTube, we will see you for the next VOD. That'll be after this. Those of you on Twitch, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey, what a fantastic cast. I hope you really enjoyed that, and God knows I did. But if you want to see more, we got plenty of casts lined up in our playlist on YouTube. So make sure you go and check those out. Make sure to drop a follow, like, subscribe, so on and so forth. And we will see you next time for some more Dota action. Bye-bye.